Welcome to Snatch Talk. Oh, hello there. I'm the Velvet Snatch, and welcome to this, the final episode of Snatch Talk for Drag Idol 2022. The final at Boulevard in Newcastle was a wonderful occasion, with the fans and the local who's who of drag showing up and rubbing shoulders once again. It's always such a great occasion, and the queens get all dressed up to show off a bit. I mean, I was out there in this beautiful dress that Christopher Nyari, local designer, made specially for me. You might know them as the Body of Newcastle, aka Opium. They've designed for drag race royalty, and now they're making dresses for an egg with a hunchback. How the mighty have fallen, eh? Now, this final episode of Snatch Talk will be slightly different to the previous ones, as I'm not going to focus too heavily on the performances themselves or showing footage of what actually happened at the final, as you can watch the full show yourself at the links in the description below. This episode will be more focused on a briefer summary of what happened and more interviews with those at the event. So, to kick things off before the show started, I had the pleasure of chatting to contestant Ella Pie, who I never got to interview before they left the competition, back in week 1. I'm here with the fantastic Ella Pie, who we sadly didn't get to see much of in the competition. How are you feeling about tonight?
I'm very excited. I really can't wait to see what they can do. I think they're going to smash it. And everyone looks stunning today, so that's really nice to see.
So, how you didn't manage to get through week 1, which I think is a bit of a tragedy. Like, what did you have planned for the competition? Did you have any sort of ideas for it?
I joined the competition kind of last minute. I've only been doing drag for 4 months, so I didn't have high hopes. It was more of an experience, a learning experience. I didn't aim to win or to get very far anyway. So that's why I feel I was a bit unprepared. I think the track I chose was a bit too slow. So yeah, I just wanted to get to know the competition more than actually take it really seriously.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen the competition now, and how do you feel about not being part of that? Like, has it been a relief not being part of it?
It's actually, yeah, been a relief. I've been very busy studying, very stressed with life things. And to add the competition on top of that would have been a lot. So, yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't have to stay up every Sunday because I have things to do on Mondays. Yeah.
As any contestant will tell you, it's a very stressful situation. But so, what have you got planned for the future? Like, where can we find more of you?
In the future, I always perform at Bobby's every 2 weeks, and then I perform at other clubs when I get invited. I'm also working on a secret drag project that's about to be finished, so keep an eye peeled for that.
Exciting.
Yeah, and next year if I'm still, as passionate about drag, then I don't see why not taking part again in Drag Idol.
That sounds amazing. No, thank you so much for speaking to me, Ella. Anything you want to mention?
I just want to say thank you to everyone who's helped me with the dresses, not just for Drag Idol, for everything I've been doing lately, and to everyone who supports me on Instagram and everywhere else. So, yeah, and to you for making all these amazing videos.
Thank you so much. See you later, Ella.
Thank you.
It wasn't just contestants from this year that were around, though. I managed to grab fellow 2019 alumni and Drag Idol finalist Faux King Dik for a good old chit-chat. Right, something very special here. I am with... Hold on. There we go, let's try again. Okay, something very special here. I'm with the legendary Faux King Dik, who was in my year. How are you feeling today?
I'm good. I thought you were checking my name there. I was so offended. I'm with Faux King Dik, apparently. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm well. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I never know how to answer that question. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just interviewing Faux King Dik at the moment. So back to you. No, now you didn't get to make the final in our year, kind of thing. Like, what are you expecting to? How did that make you feel at the time? But what are you also expecting to see from the contestants tonight?
Well, I was gutted most of all of not being able to use that stage, because that stage, that projection, those lights, the technical rehearsals completely make a performance, just elevate it so much.
Especially for a performer like you.
Fair, yeah, high maintenance, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you said that, but no, I mean, like, you know, what you bring to a performance, like the gravitas that you bring to, like, your drag, where you would use the screen, you would use the stage, you would, you know, I think, you know, you're perfectly suited for it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. That's really kind. Thank you. Yeah. No. So I missed the stage a lot. Tonight I'm hoping for a production. I mean, you know me. I love a production. I love a story being told on the screen, but mainly on the stage. Lighting, special effects, pyrotechnics, fire. I want to see an infant getting sacrificed on stage. So yeah, anything less than that and I'll be disappointed.
So the expectations aren't particularly high then?
Very low, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Typical night, really, but yeah. So have you been following it this year?
I have. I've been following it on the YouTube. So
The YouTube.
yeah. So the resolution isn't amazing, and the editing, bless Chris Howe, is great. Is great. It's absolutely fantastic. Give me gigs, Chris Howe. It's been, you know what? It's been a very different year this year. It's not felt like an amateur competition. It's felt like a professional competition, and it's so good to see it being elevated like that. It's great.
Well, we've had performers like Stacey Rhect and Bonnie and Ben where they've kind of come from further afield, really, and they're like, I'm going to try my hand at this, and it's paid off.
Yeah, completely.
So who's your favourite performer this year?
Oh, that's really hard to say. I'm going to have to gauge it on... Right, so it's a bit complicated because I've not had the audience reactions. That's what's missing on YouTube, isn't it? So you don't...
He does put like a laughter track on it sometimes, and you're like, but couldn't you just use the laughter that was there, maybe?
Well, it's probably Geordie laughter, isn't it?
No.
Which you'll probably cut out.
Probably because it clips on the fucking sound.
Yeah, hairy muff. Yeah, so it's hard to gauge when you don't get an audience reaction how it's gone sort of live. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, tonight I guess will be the deciding factor. But massive fan of Laila and Stacey Rhect.
Yeah.
And Bonnie and Ben. They're great.
Maybe Skankii?
And you know what? Skankii is really good also. So any one of those four really is going to win tonight. I'm going to call it. Yeah.
I think you might be right. Thank you so much for speaking to me, Faux King.
It's been a pleasure.
After that, we had to nip inside to take our seats for the show. It started off in spectacular fashion, with Danny D and the Broadway dancers warming us up before the arrival of the judges Ophelia Balls, Penni Tration, Raunchy Rusty, guest judge and showstopper extraordinaire Danny D, and of course, a tree. I mean, Miss Rory, who had a very special announcement to make, telling us all about their upcoming show, Land of Hope and Rory. I've grabbed my tickets already, and the link is in the description below. Hint. Once the judges were settled, it was time for our first performance, Skankii KandL, with a number about her journey through Drag Idol and her battles with insecurity. It was a really touching performance, and those shoulder pads, oof, spicy! However, I did have one gripe with it, and that's when Skankii left the stage while a video of her previous performances played, and then she returned to the stage in the same outfit. I was expecting a big reveal or a costume change, and it felt like an opportunity missed. I got to speak to Skankii before she went on to catch up and ask some pertinent questions. Hello, Skankii KandL. That's with an L, isn't it? How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling quite nervous, but honestly, I thought I'd be more nervous, but I think it's just because you think like, oh, I want to get to that finale, I want to get to it. And then when you're there, you're like, well, I need to lose all your like fears and things, because once you're on there, that's your dream complete already when you're there on stage. But nervous, but excited.
Well, that's it. I think it's there, you know, you just want it to be over, but then you kind of also want to enjoy your moment in the sun, so...
Exactly, yes. But it's not sunny, unfortunately, today, so...
So, one thing I wanted to ask you is, like, how did you get into drag? Like, what inspired you to start? Has it been a long-term thing, you know?
So, actually, my first number is a dedication to the reason why I started drag. Basically, to put it quickly, went through a lot of things, just like anybody else, but it was looking up to women, obviously drag isn't all about looking like a woman, but for me it was like embodying that female presence, because I've always looked up to strong women, and like just when I first tried it I was like, I think this is for me, and I found what I needed, and it like healed me, and like now I'm in a much better place.
No, that's it. I found that it affirmed me as a man doing drag because you embraced that female element.
Exactly. I used to be like really like have a really toxic masculinity, and literally until I started doing drag I embraced the femininity more as a man, which is strange, but try it out, honestly, it'll work.
Yeah, it's great. Right, okay, so I'm asking all the contestants this, so if you didn't happen to win tonight, who would you want to win instead? Like, who do you get on with most in the competition?
So, honestly, I look at Bonnie and Ben as just, I absolutely adore them, I love them to bits. Like, they're just so, there's something about them that, they've got 3 wins, the most wins in the competition, and they're just so down to earth. Honestly, I don't think I've ever met people as lovely as them. And honestly, if it's not me, Bonnie and Ben, I love them to pieces.
It's that thing, like, they come off stage and they're like, oh, was that good? Oh, was that crap? And you're just like, what?
They're amazing, honestly, they really are. Like, everyone is really, really talented, but like, just they're different, and I like that.
So, going to your numbers this year, like, what's been your favourite number that you've done so far?
Human Centipede was definitely one of the most fun that I had, but I did actually really enjoy my circus one. It was the first time I've kind of like channeled masculinity as well as femininity in drag, especially in a performance, and I really enjoyed it. I really did. Like, I put my all into it, and watching it back, there's a few things that I've done wrong, but that's what makes it special, doing the wrong things. And honestly, I think that's my favourite of mine. Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for speaking to me, the sensationally fabulous, divine Skankii KandL.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Next up, it was All's own Stacey Rhect. Now, we've often wondered what it must be like inside Stacey's head, and for her big stage performance, she decided to show us using bizarre stock photo mashups and meme-worthy video clips. It was great, and felt like Stacey's consistent style of performance and editing expanded to fill the Boulevard stage. We even got to the darker part of Stacey's mind and her inner saboteur as a spotlight fell upon her. It was nicely moving and ended with Stacey running us through the Drag Idol Hall of Fame, with her name potentially optimistically placed as the winner of 2022. Before she went on, I caught her outside for another revealing episode of SnatchTalk. Right, I'm here with the fabulous Stacey Rhect. How are you doing, my dear?
I am good, divas. Welcome back to SnatchTalk with me, Stacey Rhect. It's my show now.
Well, to be fair, after the job Velcro did of it, I'm so sorry that you had to deal with her.
I need compensation and counselling.
She needs more than that, I think. But no. So how are you feeling about tonight? Are you worried? Are you nervous?
I'm kind of zoned out at the minute. I'm trying to zone out from all the like chaotic shit that's going on in the background, because if I don't, I will get very nervous and shit my pants. Sorry for swearing, ma'am, and to everyone on YouTube who got fucking triggered about me swearing on Live Week.
So, what inspired you to start drag?
She's going to hate me for name dropping again, but I saw the wonderful big-nosed bitch have a fetish in Cyprus. I did, and that thing inspired me. Just her. Not fucking Drag Race.
So, one thing I want to know is, like, through all the performers, like, who's been your favourite other performer so far in the competition? Like, if you didn't win tonight, who would you want to win instead?
I would love Miss Laila to win because she's a fucking icon. Period. But, you know, I'd like myself to win. If it happens.
Well, hopefully you will. We'll see.
Stop jinxing. No, you're not allowed to say.
Okay, I'm not.
Win,
okay.
It jinxes it.
Okay, I hope you lose terribly. Okay, cool. Okay, yep.
Fuck my drag.
So, is there anything coming up in the future that you'd like to mention? Like, where can people find you after Idol?
So, you can find me down in Hull. Every like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at Propaganda and Fuel. I'm also doing a show at Hull Truck Theatre with Bonnie and Bendover on the 27th of May. And you know, You know, September time, you never know, you might see me up here a lot more. Wink, wink, wink.
That's a lot of winking. Have you had a stroke?
I have. It's the stress of this competition. You know what? I need that 300 quid just so I can have some fucking decent counselling after this fucking, you know, this journey. In the words of Glee, don't stop believing.
Oh, thank you so much, Stacey. You're an absolute treasure.
It's all right. And if you're having guests, you know, little guests next year for Snatch Talk, you know, have me back.
We can see what we can do. No, thank you so much for speaking. Thank you so much for speaking to me.
Thank you to all me fans. I'm like Princess Diana after the crash. Period.
Something I didn't know I needed in my life, but I'm glad I got happened next. Bonnie and Bend Over with their incredibly abridged and hilarious retelling of Titanic. Now this was a Drag Idol final performance, with the duo combining their usual dance sections and humour with backing dancers and a brilliant use of the screen. There were so many great gags in this performance, such as the sexy glass bit, Ben coming out as a rapping iceberg, and even one of the backing dancers becoming a raft. I can't even include the sound on my footage there because all you can hear is me cackling louder than Priti Patel kicking lifeboats back out to sea. The performance was everything and climaxed with Bonnie living her ultimate Celine Dion fantasy and standing ovations throughout the audience. Before the magic happened though, I spoke to the duo to see how they were feeling. I'm here with the absolutely sensational Bonnie and Ben Dover. How are you feeling about the final?
Well, we're here, aren't we?
We're here, yeah.
It's like you try not to think about it too much, otherwise it just gets a bit much.
Yeah.
So step by step. We've arrived in costume, that's the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How have the rehearsals been? Like, did you get one rehearsal on Friday or...?
We had one rehearsal on, was it Saturday?
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
On the stage.
And we got to like tech our numbers and run through them and stuff, so that was
Yeah.
cool. That was
Did
nice.
it go smoothly?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. The stage is a lot smaller than it looks. I think the screen makes it look bigger, to be
Yeah.
fair. Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I just walked on to be like, hello, I was in the competition, and then walked off again. So
I'm sure you'll get your day.
one day. No, but so through the performances that you've done for the competition, which has been your favourite so far, and which has been the one that you'd like to redo if possible?
We were thinking about our favourite
Yeah.
earlier, weren't we?
Yeah,
Is
I think
it?
we think it's probably our week one school
Yeah,
disco.
School disco one.
Just because both me and Ben are from quite a similar background, went to very similar schools. Yours probably were a bit more rough than mine, but we won't talk about that. And it's just like the epitome of our youth and teenage
Yeah,
years, and we
yeah.
really enjoy it. And you might see that one tonight. Well, I mean, this will be out after, so it's not
To
really,
be fair, I don't edit that quickly.
it's not a spoiler, more of a recap. Yeah.
I think that's it, yeah. So, and what would you say was your worst number so far?
Oh, probably
Probably
Freaky
Friday.
Friday. I think on paper it worked. In practice,
Not so
not
much.
so much. I think Ben's very good at being Ben, and I'm very good at being Bonnie, and we'll leave it there.
That's right. So, through the, obviously you're probably hoping to win tonight, but if you didn't, is there anyone else in the competition that you would have liked to have seen, even if they're not actually a finalist, that you'd like to, that you think would deserve the crown?
I think I'll speak for us both in saying, like, she's one of the finalists as well, but probably Laila for us.
Yeah.
When we first made the move from theatre over into the scene and did a lot in Bobby's and Open Drag, Laila were one of the first people that we met.
Yeah.
Were just absolutely bloody lovely.
We're just head over heels for
Yeah,
her, aren't we? Really.
And I just can't look at her for too long. Like, I feel I'm going to turn to stone. She's like my juicer.
Well, we saw how savage she can be with that live. That was amazing.
That was
Yeah,
incredible,
phenomenal.
wasn't it? That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, after the competition, like, where can people find you? What have you got lined up for the future?
Oh, now you're talking.
Well, we have our cabaret,
Yeah, can
the
you
bu-
remember the date?
the Bonbons Cabaret.
Is it the 9th?
I believe it's the 9th of April.
9th of April.
At Alphabetti Theatre, which is
Literally
if
across
we're in
the-
Boulevard,
It's
it's
just
just
over
over
there.
there, a stone's throw.
And that will be featuring Laila.
And Layla will be at that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Layla will be our lovely guest act for that one.
Are tickets available for that already?
Yes.
Tickets are available at alphabettitheatre.co.uk.
Right. Thank you. Well, very good luck tonight, and I will see you later. Let's get out of this cold.
It was time for something a bit less light-hearted next, with the sensational Laila Sagittaria continuing her semi-final theme of her personal trans journey. Laila's performance was a claw swipe at prominent gender-critical author J.K. Rowling, affirming that Laila knows who she is and demonstrating her body positivity with multiple fantastic outfit reveals and waves of phenomenal dance moves. I'll admit that it fell into a long groove at points, but ended dramatically with Laila flying the trans flag and inviting many trans-identifying members of her own community onto the stage, including icons such as Baron LeVay, Pebble Dash, Mixie Mitosis, Danny DeLonco, and fellow contestant Titania Gemini. You couldn't be in better company if you tried. I got to speak to Laila, before the show, and you can tell it's before the show as I get very antsy towards the end here when I can hear the actual show starting up behind us, and somehow manage to call Laila Stacey. Oh, I'm not even going to edit it out. Professionalism, your name is not Velvet. I'm very lucky that Laila is such a good sport.
Hello, I'm here with the ever glamorous Laila Sagittaria. How are you doing?
As expected, nervous, excited, terrified, ready to go. I kind of just want to get on there already because the anticipation of like waiting for it to happen, hearing other people's numbers, it's just like, I just want to go on. So really, really nervous, but I'm more excited.
Just think about like how wonderful it'll be when you come off stage and you're like, I did that, I just did that.
Yeah, I love my numbers so much. I'm so proud of what I put together. I've had a little bit of help from Travesty with some of my visuals on my second number, if I get to do it, fingers crossed. And I'm so proud of everything. Like, these two numbers, like, my second number, if I get to do it, it's so me. It's nerdy, it's drag, it's crazy. And my first number, it means a lot to us. It's not emotional, but it's... Last week I did a sort of trans success story. This week it's a... like sort of trans empowerment, so I'm very excited to do it. Very excited.
Well, that's it. As Plastique said, like, you know, it's so good that you're in the competition to give that representation to all the people and be a role model. I think, you know, I really think you are.
I really hope I'm like doing like my community and proud and stuff, because obviously we don't have enough representation yet. Hopefully in the next couple of years we get more and more and more until we're taken over.
So, what do you think has been your worst number in the competition so far? Like, because you get to pick one to bring back, and yeah. Did you pick one because it was your worst and you wanted to improve, or your best and you wanted to do again?
So I'd say my worst one was definitely week 2. I don't think it was a bad number. It just was wasn't anything really. Do you know what I mean? Like it didn't go anywhere. It had gags, but it wasn't what I wanted it to be. But the one I'm redoing, my second one, is I'd personally say my best one. Last week they said my semi-finals performance was the best one, but I'm going to be redoing my Spider-Man.
I saw the costume in the backstage and I was just like, oh.
There she is. Yeah, so I did comedy on Disney Week. This week it's literally like if No Way Home, the movie, was a drag performance. It's crazy. Chaotic music, chaotic visuals, sound, the lot. It's going to be... Hopefully, I watched it in the audience, my rehearsals yesterday, and it's going to be fun to watch, really fun to watch. Hopefully I get to do it, hopefully.
I really hope, I really want to see this. So, if you didn't happen to win tonight, who would you want to win instead?
Probably Stacey. I mean, Bonnie and Ben I have mad respect for, because they are just, literally, look up the word professionals and it's them. Like, they are so good at what they do. They're just... Like, I'm in awe when I watch them. I'm like, how do you do that? I'm lucky enough to do a show with them in April at Elfie Betty Theatre. April 9th, I'm going to say. Don't quote me on that, but it's around that time. It's a burlesque theme show. It's going to be incredible. Like, I can't wait for that. Skankii, I think she is literally incredible. She's beautiful. She's funny. She's one of the nicest people I've ever met. Like, I can't say enough good things about her. But Stacey is just like... She's like everyone put together. Like, she's professional, she's lovely, she's funny. She's even helped me grow in this competition. Like, if I won, I'd have to thank Stacey a little bit, because week 3, I wanted to change myself up the week 3 because they said, we don't want you to stay like this dancing diva girl, which I changed, thank God, but like I wanted to change anyway, but Stacey really helped me just like switch up, and I'm very, very grateful for her. We've grown so close. She's the closest person I've got in the competition besides like the Newcastle girls, but yeah, very appreciate it.
Oh, amazing. No, thank you so much for speaking to me, Stacey, and good luck for tonight.
Anytime. You just call me Stacey.
You've got Stacey on my brain. I'm distracted because the music's just started. Okay, no, let's try that one again, okay? So, oh, thank you so much for speaking to me, Laila.
Absolutely no problem. Anytime.
Not Stacey.
And while the show might have been starting there, we're still deep in it here. After all 4 finalists had done their performances, it was time for 2018 winner Gladys Duffy to take to the stage, with a spectacular song naming as many of the Newcastle kings and queens as she could fit in. Well, that's the important bit done. Jokes aside, it's such a good song, and really shows what a wonderful community we have here in Newcastle. I recommend you watch the full performance at the link in the description below. Once that was done, it was time to bring the finalists back so that the judges could announce which 3 would be continuing on and performing their second number of the night, and who would be sitting pretty in 4th place. Spoiler warning, it was Skankii KandL. With that, the first half of the night was over, and as we headed into the interval, I got to mingle and speak to another queen who we lost too early on in the competition, Costa Fortune.
Okay, I'm here with the fantastic Costa Fortune, who sadly didn't make it through week 1. How are you doing, my dear?
I'm doing great.
It feels like such a long time since we spoke. You were the first person I spoke... No, I spoke to Titania first, then I spoke to you, and then... Wow, how long?
Yeah. Like that first interview, I was like, oh my God, nervous to speak, but like, now just after the 6 weeks, I can't believe it's been 6 weeks already, but like, being able to just watch it is so much less stressful. And I've liked coming to support everyone.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that everyone notes, like, you know, for you've been there every week. Like, you've been there backstage, you've been saying hello, you've been supporting everyone and stuff, and it's been really nice that you put the time in.
I just wanted to, like, come support everyone, and, like, obviously this is my first time doing the competition. Maybe I'll do it another second time next year. But, like, now that I've watched it and seen the critiques, I know what to do. Because I went into it quite unknown. I hadn't really watched it before. I'd watched, like, 1 season. But I was still really new to drag, only like 4 months. So
I think it gets rid of the fear, though. The fact that you've gone up there, you've done that, and you're like, oh, it's not that bad. The world didn't end, you know?
Yeah. I thought it was like... I don't know what's there.
Should I ask some leading questions? So, do you think you'll do Drag Idol next year?
I think at this moment in time, I am thinking of doing it next year, because I know what to do. I know the things they like, not know what to do.
It's because you get people who are in the competition, like, I mean, Teresa was one of them, where like she researched all of them and she looked at the previous years and she went, oh, they like this kind of thing and they like this and stuff, and kind of came into it really prepared. And then this year we've had people who just kind of just wanted to do it, but then maybe didn't know the unwritten rules a bit.
Yeah, I think I went into it like that. Like I didn't really know what to expect, and I was just a bit quite nervous on that first day, especially going first when I first back in the day. But no, I'm looking forward to tonight. I think the top 4 that we've got are really strong.
I don't think there's anyone there that doesn't deserve to be there, and that's wonderful.
I can't pick a winner between them.
If you were made to, though, who would you want to win?
You're gonna do this to me. I think I'm between. I think that the judges have really liked Bonnie and Ben, and I've seen them at Open Drag, and I absolutely love them. Yeah. But like, if my sister Laila took it, she's made the competition. She's turned it around from going like just a lip sync to making it about her story and her transition. I'd love to see her win as well.
I think it would be amazing to get a Bobby's girl, like, you know, a Bobby's performer sort of actually winning. That would be great. But no, so where can we catch you in the future?
Well, I'm always at Bobby's every 2 weeks for from Drag Night. I just recently did the Tuesday at the Yard, so that was really fun.
Is that with Tesco and Penny Arcade?
So hopefully I really enjoyed it, so hopefully I get more opportunities to do that. I'm going to try and push myself out there and use Drag Idol as a little platform, even though I didn't make it that far.
Oh, that's amazing, and there's always next year. No, thank you so much for speaking to me, Costa.
No, well, I've loved watching Snatch Talk every week. My favourite thing to watch.
Oh, thank you so much.
The second half was then upon us, with the curtains opening to another suite of performances from Danny D and the Broadway dancers, this time in a Britney mega mix. The director of Northern Pride, or should I say UK Pride, Stacey Dunn, had a chat to Ophelia next about what everyone can expect from this year's Pride celebrations in Newcastle. And something special next, as Drag Idol judge Penni Tration stepped out, in trainers no less, to remind all the haters, all the keyboard warriors, all the bitches why she's a judge of Drag Idol and they're not. Penny came out with a powerful live vocal amid a backdrop of sagging erections. And if the live singing wasn't enough, we got a full-on fame dance routine from the choreo queen herself. I'd like to see the haters do that. Once the judges were back in their seats, it was time for Stacey Rhect to bring back one of her previous numbers to improve it for the big stage. The number she chose was her Incredibles number from Disney Week, adding more jokes in, sensational use of the screen, walking on her knees as Edna Mode this time with a pair of fake legs, and adding in a whole "no capes" section at the end. But it wasn't the end, as Stacey grabbed a mic and treated us to a live section, thanking the audience for supporting her on her Drag Idol journey. Bonnie and Ben were next, bringing back their Week 1 school disco number, adding in visuals and a deeper plot, as well as gags from their other performances. It was all going well until the duo were hit with a medical emergency.
He's an alien! He needs his inhaler!
It was really well adapted for the bigger stage, with the pair expanding the routine to include nearly every 90s school disco hit over the course of 6 minutes. It was then time for our final finalist to swing into action as Laila Sagittaria brought back their Disney Week Spider-Woman performance. Out of all 3 of the performances, this was probably the most different, with the message changing from a commentary on female superheroes, or lack thereof, to being more of a visual spectacular and a homage to the Marvel Universe. It was beautifully dramatic, and Laila stunned as usual, with my heart skipping a beat when she made this leap. In heels, no less. Wow. As is tradition, it was reigning queen Frida Sapphic's chance to perform next, with a number reminding us who they are and why they're still the bossest lip-sync bitch on the Newcastle scene. The visuals really made this number, with fireworks and even phoenix wings punctuating the performance. Finally, it was time for the big moment. All the contestants from throughout this year's competition took their place on the stage, with the notable absence of Reese Spectrum, who mustn't have been able to get down from Glasgow. Once the judges had joined them, it was time for the results, so we're firmly in spoiler territory here, so if you're happy living without the knowledge of who wins Drag Idol 2022, please like, subscribe, comment, share, slap, squeeze, saute and switch off. If, however, you've glimpsed dancing lights in the night sky and are willing to scream at those commie CIA operatives that you know what you saw, here's the tea. In a well-deserved joint second place were Laila and Stacey, meaning that the winners of Drag Idol 2022 were the dynamic duo Bonnie and Ben Dover, and their crowning went off without a hitch. Oh wait, no, that's the other reality where Chris Howe remembered to take the price tag off the winner's bouquet, and didn't have to redo the whole winner walk-on. You've got to love this whole section, with Danny having absolutely none of it, and the judges riffing with each other.
Tomorrow. Oh, and flowers as well. Oh, we're going to take what we're doing. Take the price off, Chris. Take the price off. It's a forecourt garage price, though, $29.99. Her Majesty. Oh, for fuck's sake, this is a seamless piece of theatre, isn't it? Stopped off at the garage on the way in. Stopped off at the fucking cemetery. Can you announce them back on stage? I'll cut out the video.
Seamless!
This is for the video. Take 2 and action.
After we were done, there was time for a few more interviews, and I was lucky enough to finally speak to another queen that left the competition much too soon, Pia Pressure.
Well, I'm here with Pia Pressure, who I unfortunately have not had the chance to interview yet. I've left you out, I'm afraid. How are you doing, my dear?
I am fabulous. I am. Very, very good. How are you?
I'm great, especially after watching that bloody show. What did you think?
Honestly, amazing. I know the judges have said it, but it has been one of the best years that we've seen in a long, long, long time, if not ever.
Well, and that's it. And I think it's really prestigious of you to have been in this year and to get so far through it.
No, I agree. I could not have asked to be in a better year with better girls and boys. We need to remember the boys. Everything the judges have said is just to a T. Like, we could not have done better. Everyone. Fabulous.
Well, that's one thing I wanted to ask. Like, if you'd got further in the competition, did you have a Disney week planned? Did you have a live week planned?
I was going to do Maleficent for Disney Week. But I know we've seen like a few variations of the evil queens. But yeah, I was going to do Maleficent. And then obviously I work a lot, do live stuff anyways. But as for live, I did not have a clue. I think when I got there, if I got there, which I didn't, spoiler alert, I think it would have just been a case of give me the mic and just let me chat shit for 3 minutes and hope that it was enough.
It worked for some of them, didn't it?
Well, it did.
So who was your favourite going through the competition? That obviously wasn't yourself.
I was going to say Fonda Cox, but no. It's piss off. It's so hard to pick a favourite, especially since we're all friends and like obviously I work with a lot of them.
You could whisper it if you want.
Team Laila.
Okay.
But I was robbed. Can you zoom in on my face on that bit when I said I was robbed?
Okay.
Robbed.
There we go.
Thank you.
No. So are you thinking about doing Idol again?
Unless Chris phones me for an All-Stars, no.
It's a shame, but fair enough. But so where can people catch you normally?
Oh, well, Friday, 11:30 till 4 in the Pink Room with all the queer bangers, the classics. Saturday, 9 till 2 at the Yard. Just getting pissed on the stage, really. Sunday, Monday on the Wallsend High Street. Be careful. At Manhattan's.
You're all over the shop, bloody
I'm like
hell.
Thrush, you can't get rid of us. Sorry, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much for speaking to me, Pia. Do you have anything you'd like to mention?
Pia was robbed.
Thank you.
Then, and I'm so happy that the stars aligned for this, I got to speak to my personal drag saviour and the legend whose help and advice got me through my year of the competition, Drag Idol All-Star Megan Madey, and I got to chat to them about their favourite contestant and what they thought of the competition this year.
Hello, I'm here with the fantastic Megan Madey, Drag Idol All-Star. How are you doing, my dear?
I'm doing very well, yes, especially after a fabulous night of entertainment. So, yes.
What did you think of it? You've been following the competition this year, haven't you, as always?
Yes, I've been every week. I really loved, from the start, I loved Mia T, and I'm really disappointed that she wasn't in the final. And I blame that stupid bike, that bloody bike. If it wasn't for that.
It was like I said in the show last week, that was the booby trap prop. It was whoever got that was gonna...
Such a shame, honestly. It's like, what can you do? She did well with it, but obviously not well enough.
Hence not being here. But, She looks fantastic tonight, though. She's got like this wonderful gothy dress on. It's really nice.
Yeah, I think she's got a look of that lady off Lock and Key. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a Netflix thing. She looks a bit like a bit lock and key.
And not Michael Jackson like Rusty said.
Not Michael Jackson. Well, slightly Michael Jackson. Hee!
But no, so who was your favourite contestant this year?
My favourite this year, in all, was Mia. I think she's going to do really well. I hope she does really well. I hope she continues with it. But of the ones that were on stage, I was rooting for Stacey. Obviously, I loved Ben and Bonnie. They were amazing. But I think Bonnie and Ben, what they do is they've got so many, like, it's the fact that they've got so many amazing tracks in one, and they're only using those little snippets, which is, I think, why it works. So they've obviously, they know the audience that they want to work to. But yeah, I was rooting for Stacey.
I know, but then again, second place is nothing to be sniffed at.
Well, I mean, I've done it 3 times, so always the bridesmaid. Never mind.
No, that's it. So what advice would you give people who are planning to enter next year after, all you've been through and what we've seen this year?
People who are wanting to enter next year should definitely look at what Bonnie and Ben did. They did this, it was all theatre, it was great. They did all these little snippets of popular songs that people love. They managed to fit it around a little storyboard of a little... They had like a story running through, which I think was the key point. And that they did that every week, and that's why it worked so well for them. Yeah. And I would say for anyone entering, make sure that you get somebody who's going to give you decent critiques. Don't have people around you that are just going to say, oh, that was good, that was brilliant, yeah, it was great. Have someone around you who's going to tell you what you should do better, because that's the way to improve.
Well, I remember when I did Drag Idol and I had you wonderfully just basically going, that's shit, that's rubbish, or you should do this and stuff. And it really helped. Like, it got me through to the semi-finals, so...
Well, I mean, how many weeks was that? Was it?
I think it was 5. I think.
Weeks,
yeah,
5 weeks. Whereabouts every single week I had to say, no, the whole number needs to change. No, the whole number needs to change.
Just do this instead.
But you got to week 5. It's all good. It's all good.
Remember what I was going to do with instead of the scream number, where I was just going to murder a baby on stage or something. And you were like, no, don't do that.
I don't remember that one. I probably would have okayed it.
Oh no, it's been absolutely wonderful speaking to you, Megan. No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And finally, as the dust settled on the night, I spoke to the winners of Drag Idol 2022 again, Bonnie and Ben Dover.
Right. I'm here with the winners of Drag Idol 2022. Is that setting in yet? Bonnie and Ben Dover.
Hello.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Oh, it's weird, isn't it?
No, it's fun. We'll check it.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's just,
I think it's going to take a minute. I need to sit down. That's what I need, Velvet.
You sit down.
You do after that routine. Fuck it up.
Jesus.
Oh, God. And my mini eggs are still inside.
Oh, don't get him started on the mini eggs. You're not allowed to take food in, are you?
I'm not allowed to take food in.
Lost a full packet of mini eggs.
My mini eggs were confiscated.
Is it not in the prize bag or anything? Have you just got all this fucking merchandise and stuff?
One of my friends brought it in, so it's just behind the box
You know what? I'll
office,
buy you a
I
new
think.
pack of mini eggs. You've done well.
Within the next 20 minutes.
I mean, if I can find them, I will.
We'll find a newsagent. Yes. We'll get you some mini eggs. But no. So that Titanic performance, like, I was sitting right at the back and I could hear people were cheering for just how ludicrous it was. Like, when you came out, I was like, why is he dressed like a ghost? And then I'm like, no, oh, it's an iceberg. Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, we... So I've loved Titanic since the beginning of time. Celine Dion mainly. And like, I think that was just one of the ideas where we were like, what's a duo and where's the weirdest place we can go?
Well, yeah,
and technically it's more than one duo because you have the Titanic and the iceberg. That's a duo.
Yes.
Is that the true duo of...
Move over Bonnie and Ben Dover, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Titanic and the iceberg.
Titanic and the iceberg. Oh.
I love the idea that your mind just went to, what can we do for a number? Let's do the whole story of Titanic in 5 minutes.
You can't just do a bit of it. You
like,
can't.
What do you leave out?
Where do you start with?
Yeah.
What do you leave?
Yeah.
Where do you finish? Like, you've got to do
the lot.
You've got to put a bit of 3-act structure in there. Do you know what I mean? You can't just leave it be.
No, it's absolutely brilliant though. And like, how did you feel about the other contestants? Like, did you get to see much of their performances from the wings, or?
We saw a little bit of Stacey's.
We kept trying to like pop our heads up, but you're getting changed and stuff, so we could just try and hear what we could hear. And we've sort of spoken to each other about what we're each doing, but we didn't get to see everything as much as we.
Sorry, I've just interrupted.
No, it's fine. You go.
I get told off for that. I'm really sorry. I think we could have asked for a better top 3 and 4.
Oh God,
like
it's incredible.
everyone is absolutely lovely, and I think what we're really exciting for us is everyone's so different and bringing their own thing and top of the game in that. So
yeah, like I think we all said when this was the top 4, like we'd be happy.
Any of them.
Yeah. Like to be in that top 4 with any of those is an absolute privilege.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Like it's just been incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you have any other things you want to say just before we go?
Thanks for doing Velvet. Thanks for doing your little thing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for doing SnatchTalk.
Yeah.
It's
Thank you
been
very much.
Every week.
Also, it reminds me what happened because we come off stage, it's a blur. So having that every week.
Well, that's it. Well, it's like I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it this week, but basically I filmed the performances, so we'll probably show bits of them as well.
Absolutely.
So.
Do like a celebration of. I look
Yeah.
forward to seeing you every week. If you want to just talk into a camera for me every week, that'd be lovely.
It's so soothing.
Yeah, it really is.
I people keep asking me to do like ASMR things, and I'm just like going, what? Just reading recipe books or something?
Oh yeah.
Might give it a go.
We'll sort this out.
Comment on this. Tell me if I should do ASMR.
What should Velvet read?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did that on Instagram Live a while ago. Anyway, this isn't news about you, so yeah. No, congratulations on winning Drag Idol.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that was that, as the audience headed out into Newcastle's wonderful gay scene and on later to a post-show event at Pink Room's nightclub, I gathered up my things and joined my friends for a few drinks to toast the fantastic cast we've had this year. Ella Pie, Costa Fortune, Jasmine Dick, Fonda Cox, Pia Pressure, Reese Spectrum, Veggie Stripper, Dildo, Mercury.co.uk, Titania Gemini, Mia T. Cleaver, Lavender Love, Skankii KandL, Stacey Rhect and Laila Sagittaria, and Bonnie and Ben Dover. It has been amazing being part of your journey this year, and I just want to thank all of you for speaking to me for SnatchTalk. I'd also like to thank the judges Penni T, Ophelia, Rusty, Miss Rory, and everyone who's been watching this series and has enjoyed it or come up to me on a night to tell me that you're a fan. It really makes it all worthwhile. Thanks also to Chris Howe for all the digs we make. The competition wouldn't be happening without all the hard work you put into it, year after year. And finally, I want to thank the man whose help has been instrumental in making this series and capturing these exclusive interviews. The Queen, with the patience of a saint, my cameraman James, aka Cookie Crumbles. Thank you for all those moments you were mid-conversation and I just dashed over, shoved a camera in your hand and cried, "We need to speak to such and such!" You're an absolute lifesaver. Well, thank you for watching SnatchTalk. I've been the Velvet Snatch. Maybe we'll see each other next year, but until then, you can follow my socials, go to thevelvetsnatch.com, listen to the Girl podcast on Spotify by searching for #GURL. Have a fantastic year and support your local drag. Goodbye. I like this dress. Thanks, Opium.